Personality, and I am back with another video. Now I will tell y'all this. I was not about to get on here. I was not about to do it. I got a lot going on. I have a lot going on. Almost. I don't even want to say it out loud. Almost too much going on, but I have a lot going on, and I wasn't going to get on here, but there is something about this season and me operating in consistency. So I've mentioned that before, and I haven't gotten an exact time down yet as far as how consistent I can be with posting, but I do know the amount of times that I post needs to be consistent. So here I am for you all this morning, but one of the thoughts that came to mind, and we're going to take just a little bit of a detour from the Myron Golden's Make More Offers Challenge. It was absolutely amazing. All the important links are in the details if you want to join that offer. It is every single month he does the challenge. I will definitely be doing another one once we get over our hiring and employee hump. I will definitely be doing that, but I'm going to take a quick break for that because one of the main things that he stresses, and I think is very important, is making sure that we are doing the thing, right? That we are actually doing the thing, making sure that you are working on your plan, you're working on your business, you are executing, you're carrying it out, you're doing those types of things. And that's what I'm in my season of doing right now as well. So I just wanted to pop on, chit chat with you guys for a few minutes while my little ones are still asleep, and I am going to get back to work. But one of the thoughts that came to my mind and my heart for today is pivot is realignment to destiny. Pivot is realignment to destiny. And I'll share a little bit about where I'm at so you can kind of see and gauge where you're at and if you're feeling kind of the same pull. But whenever you have a business or you're working on something or you've had this vision and this dream and this goal of doing something and you're putting 120% in it at this point, like many of us are doing, sometimes it can get very, very heavy. It can become very weighty. And in doing that, sometimes we get so focused and so streamlined. And of course, you want that tunnel vision and you want that part of the plan. But your end goal is to wind up in the place of destiny. Your end goal is to get to your destination. And sometimes we become so fixed on what our original thought process was, what our original intent was, what our original goal was, and how we wanted to do it. Right? That's the part that I want to stress, how we wanted to do it. We become so focused on that sometimes that we delay our own destiny. And it's important that we take a moment in the grind, in the push, in just working out the details and executing, that we take a moment to realize that it is okay to pivot. It's okay to shift and it's okay to change. And one of the things that we have to be comfortable with is that we are not all knowing. God is. He is sovereign. And when he gives us a thing and when he gives us a promise, he means it. But sometimes we take the promise of a thing and we attach the path for it. We take the promise of a thing and we try to create the path for it. And God is supposed to be the one creating our path. And should he give us all the steps up front, we probably wouldn't want to go. If we were honest, should he tell us, hey, you're going to need to turn here on Elm Street. You're going to need to turn, make it right over here. And hey, you're going to come up to this ditch. You're going to need to go through the river and under the woods, whatever you want to call it. If he were to give us the play-by-play all the time, a lot of times we'll say, no, Lord, we're okay. I'm good on that. I'm comfortable right where I am. So sometimes God will give us the destination. He will let us see. He will give us a sneak peek of where he is taking us just so we have enough fuel in the tank in order to go. But he may not give us the full step-by-step and play-by-play until we're going along. As a matter of fact, as far as I know, in my life, that is when he's giving me the play-by-play as I'm going along, because that means that I am required to trust him. When I leave the path and the how to him, I am required to put my faith and my trust in his sovereignty and his goodness and his grace and his mercy and his favor. I am required to do that when I don't know all of the details. When I realize and I humble myself and know that I do not know it all. I don't see the full picture. Then I have to put my faith in him. I have to put my trust in him. I have to understand that it's not going to be by my might or my strength. That I absolutely need, depend, rely on him to get where I'm going. So for today, it is important for us to know and understand that pivot is just realigning us with destiny. It's realigning us with our destination. A lot of times we get so focused on the how and how we think something is supposed to be that we lose sight of the actual destination, that we become delayed for the actual destination. And that is not God's plan for us. That is not his design for us. One of the things we're in the process of dealing with right now is employment, right? And of course, we've been at this crossroad for a good little bit where we make a decent salary for ourselves, make a great income for ourselves, and we are at this crossroad of how and when and how much we scale the business, right? How much do we want to scale the business and what that looks like? And for us, we've made a decision that yes, of course, we want to scale the business. We want to invest into our overall legacy for our children and our children's children. So this is something that we are putting 120% in, but it does involve other people. It does involve hiring and trusting other people with that vision. So it is making us rise to a certain level and also making us hold those around us accountable to another level. And for us, we're going through a phase where our previous employee actually just quit. It was like we came back from the weekend and she just said, look, I'm out, right? And that was a moment for us. This is a moment for us of pivot, of what does that really look like? We've been hiring the same way. We've been looking for talent the same way. We've been doing all of these things the same way. And one of the things that I have noticed is that every single time, and this is for somebody who needs to hear it, who's working in their business, who's trying to make things happen, who's trying to get things going, and it seems like every time you turn around, there is something going on. We have been in that season. And the reason why I am at peace even now is because I have been through that season. And it's because I know that even when an employee walks out the door and there are tasks to be done and there's things that need to be completed, I know that God has brought us out on the other side much greater and in a far better position than we were before the thing happened. I know that for a fact for my own life. So now when things happen, I walk with a different aura around me. I walk with a different confidence. I walk with a different trust in Father. It is one thing, please hear me. It is one thing to have faith in God, something that you have not seen. Right? And you're believing for it as though it were. That is okay. That is what the Lord requires. That is what he asked for. Right? There is something unique. There is something different for something that your eyes have not seen yet, but your eyes have seen through faith in Christ. There's something unique about that. But let me tell you about the confidence and the walk that you have when you hang in there with God. When you allow him to do what only he can do, there is a surety that you have. When you have allowed him to take you through the trenches and you realize, and now you understand you're moving from a place of faith and you're moving to a place of trust. There is nothing now that can come about in our business that I do not trust the Lord with. I have had faith in our finances, and he's met me exactly where we were. I have had faith in our employment, and he's met me exactly where we were. I have had faith in our procedures and processes that the Lord will allow us to sculpt them and design them and structure them in such a way that is conducive for our business, and he's met me exactly where I'm at. I have had faith in those things, and now it is not just faith. I trust the Lord because I've seen it. I've trusted the Lord, not because I have seen it time and time again where he has come through for me over and over and over again. Why is it important for you to endure through the valley so you know and your eyes truly see? So when the Lord comes through for you, you have a different confidence. You have a different aura about you. You have a different walk. I walk into rooms differently. Even now, I'm answering the phone like we got 10 employees. Why? Because I know that the Lord is going to bring us out better on the other side of things because he's done it before. And if he's done it before, he will do it again. And those rough times, those rough patches are going to be super important. So when the Lord calls you to pivot, you do it with quickness. You do it without hesitation. You do it without doubt. You do it without anxiety. You do it without worry. You do it because you know and you trust the Lord. This may be your season of pivot. And it is not to hurt you, it is to develop you. It is not to set you back, it is to propel you forward. It is not to detour you, it is to bring you out of your season of delay and ignite you and take you toward destiny. This is your time to pivot. Ask the Lord how, and he will show you. For us in that very same example, I am extremely excited. I'm a process geek. For sure, a process geek. And after this last time, we've just been thinking about hiring. We still have not found somebody yet that we say, yes, we want to move forward with. So we reopen it back up to get additional applications and all of that. All of that costs money, right? But we open it back up to get some additional applications and additional interest. And literally yesterday, I was thinking like, hey, like what if I was scrolling on Facebook and I saw that our local library was having a job fair, and I had just never thought about a job fair for our company, right? Right now we have one additional employee. I had just never thought about a job fair. And as I was scrolling about the job fair, I called them to see if we can come on board for this job fair. And before the guy called me back, because I got a voicemail, before the guy called me back, it's like, wait a minute, we can have our own job fair. Like what is this? Phoned a friend, right? You got to have that friend. You have to have that community. I phoned a friend and said, look, here's my idea. This is the thought that I have. Can we put this together? Can we have our own job fair? And man, I tell you, about 20, 25 minutes maybe on the phone, we put that thing together, processes in play. I'm in the process now of updating our website with our career. I had never on our website had a careers page or a careers section on our website. By this time tomorrow, we will have a careers page on our website with full details of not only this position, but also the future positions. We were able to sit down and plan from a business perspective. Okay, here's where we are now, but what is our actual goal? What is our growth track for our employees as they come in? What are those salaries going to look like? What are those benefits packages going to look like? What incentives are we going to be able to provide for our employees to make sure that they see this just as much as a long-term career as we would like for them to see it, right? Because the problem that we've been having is that they've been kind of turning over a higher turnover rate. And for our industry, right? For our industry, that's a little more normal, right? So for one, we have to realign right now and pivot in our employment strategies and processes. We have to pivot those things to match our industry standard. we also have to pivot in a way because that's what we've been experiencing. So instead of hopping on this roller coaster every single time, we're in the process now of creating structure around what seemed like an unstructured thing of employees leaving and high turnover rates and things like that. It seems chaotic, but we are in the process now of creating a structure that supports what we are noticing in that pattern or in that trend. Now, do we want high turnover? Absolutely not. But because we've had it and because we are in the process now of making that pivot and making that shift and making that change, we will be able to support our long-term employees for their careers, and we will also be prepared for those who just treat it like a job and maybe, in and out of it, for us, what seems like fly by night. And that's what I mean by pivot. That there is peace in the pivot. It does not mean failure. It does not mean you're doing something wrong. It means that you are realigning with destiny. It is not only okay, it is necessary. Anywho, I have a ton of work to do. I'm gonna go ahead and hop off here. Y'all take what y'all need. Y'all get on about y'all business. I'm gonna see y'all later. I'll see y'all soon.